Episode 2, Atomic Bomb, Meh. One man was hit by 2 atomic bombs and lived to tell the story. In August of 1945, Japan experienced the most destructive weapons ever created. World War II had reached its final and most desperate stage. After years of brutal fighting across Europe and the Pacific, millions were already dead. Entire cities had been reduced to rubble. Families were separated. Nations were exhausted. The United States believed that invading Japan would cost countless more lives. So a new weapon was chosen, one never used before in human history. It was called the atomic bomb, a single device powered by nuclear energy, capable of destroying an entire city in seconds. No one truly understood what it would do to the human body. No one knew what kind of world would exist after it was used. Some scientists feared it would change warfare forever. Others feared it would change humanity itself. On the morning of August 6, 1945, the city of Hiroshima was beginning an ordinary day. People walked to work, children went to school, shops opened their doors. They had no warnings. At 8:15 a.m., the sky exploded into white light. Temperatures reached hotter than the surface of the sun. Buildings turned to dust. Shadows were burned into the ground where people once stood. Time itself seemed to stop. Survivors later described a city of fire and silence, a place where nothing looked familiar anymore. 3 days later, the same fate awaited Nagasaki. 2 cities, 2 moments in history that would change warfare forever. Thousands died instantly. More than 200,000 people would eventually die from the explosions and radiation. And among all those lives, one man would stand at the center of both catastrophes. A man who would witness the power of the atomic bomb twice, and by some miraculous twist of fate, was able to survive both. His name was Tsutomu Yamaguchi. On August 6, 1945, Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on a business trip. He was walking toward a shipyard when he saw a blinding flash in the sky. He later said, "It felt like the sun had fallen from above." The explosion threw him into the air. His face and arms were burned. Buildings vanished in seconds. Despite his injuries, he survived. He spent the night in a shelter and the next day returned home to Nagasaki to be with his family. His body was wounded, but his mind was still trying to understand what he had seen. 3 days later, while explaining to his boss what had happened in Hiroshima, the sky flashed again. Another atomic bomb exploded. Yamaguchi was thrown to the ground once more. He survived again. His wife and baby also survived, though they were exposed to radiation. For years, Yamaguchi suffered from burns and radiation sickness, but he lived a long life and later became a strong voice against nuclear weapons. He spoke not as a soldier or a politician, but as a witness. What makes his story even more extraordinary is that the Japanese government officially recognized him as a double survivor, one of the only people in history to be present at both atomic bombings. He once described the moment of the first explosion. The sky suddenly turned white, and then everything was silent. No sound, no wind, just light. Scientists later said the chances of surviving one atomic blast were extremely low. Surviving 2 was nearly impossible. Yet Yamaguchi did. His story is not about luck alone. It is about the human body, the will to live, and the unpredictable paths of history. It is also a warning, a reminder of what happens when technology outpaces wisdom. Today, his testimony is preserved in museums and documentaries as a reminder of what nuclear weapons truly mean. Not just numbers, not just statistics, but people. 1 man, 2 bombs, 1 impossible survival. History tried to erase him twice and failed.